suicide, murder, and unnatural death. If the unit you are investing in is haunted, will you still purchase it? If buying a haunted property means getting the place at a discounted price, is it a good investment? Will you consider a cemetery facing unit? So, this Hungry Ghost Month, let's talk about the stigma, investment potential, and risk on haunted properties where the owner actually passed on in the unit. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Nicole Chan and I am a licensed real estate consultant here in Singapore. Here on my channel, we discuss the latest news and new launches in the world of real estate and why all of this information is relevant to you. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, do check out my channel. So it's currently the Hungry Ghost month, and I thought, it would be quite interesting for us to analyze stigmatized properties where the owner passed on in that unit. So the concern is that, if I get a property where the owner passed away in that unit, then you might be thinking, wow, it'll be tough to sell or rent out the unit, right? Because people will be scared, right? Later, your buyer or tenant raise concerns and say like, what if I see ghosts in the house, right? This kind of objections lah, when you sell or rent out the place. And because you'll be the owner of the unit, right? And what if you decide to eventually stay in the unit? So here's the catch. So according to CMA, right, so stigmatized properties are usually sold lower than valuation. So this means that the unit will be undervalued. That said, there are undervalued properties in the market that are not haunted, not on fire sale lah, but you just need to know how to identify them or have a professional to guide you on how to identify these units. Okay, so coming back to the haunted properties. So if you're thinking, then I just don't disclose the death law, right? I know what you're thinking. So in Singapore, there is no specific law that requires the disclosure of deaths in the property to the buyer lah. But as part of the code of ethics and professional client care for real estate agents, if a buyer actually come to you and ask the agent, right, whether there were any recent deaths, right, the agent will need to share all facts that are material to the transaction. So what do I mean when I say material to the transaction, right? So this means that if knowing that the owner actually passed on in that unit, the buyer would not have proceeded with the purchase, would not have transacted, then this fact is material. And that also includes like recent deaths, right? So if you have watched this far, please like, share, and subscribe so that I know that my hours-long research has been put into good use. I also started a TikTok account called Nicole Chan Property, so do check it out. Okay, so now let's talk about some case studies. Okay, let's take a look at these case studies. So this investment trend to buy so-called like haunted properties is especially common in areas and countries with many people, little land, and high property prices. So as you can see in this article over here, yeah. Okay, so for example, major cities in Hong Kong, Japan, and China actually have this investment trend. So I chanced upon this article. Okay, so in Hong Kong, there's apparently a king of haunted flats, right? So this investor was able to buy a property at a bargain, around 30 to 40% below valuation, and then make a profit when property prices in Hong Kong skyrocket. Okay, so in Malaysia, haunted homes are also around 40% lower than market rates, as you can see in this Yahoo News article over here. Okay, so coming back to Singapore, do you think that investment in haunted properties could also work? Okay, so now let's talk about cemetery facing units. So imagine you stay at a HDB here. Okay, so people got ocean view, landed view, okay, you have cemetery view. So apparently in US, people pay a 8.8% premium compared to the units that do not face the cemetery. So you might be thinking, wow, why so weird, right? People are actually willing to pay a premium for a cemetery facing view. So that's because the cemetery will be well maintained and planning authorities in the US won't actually disturb the land over there. In Singapore, there are HDB units that are cemetery facing. So in the case of Holland Close and also Commonwealth Avenue, right? So some of the units are actually facing the cemetery and the view looks like this. Okay, so for a 4-room HDB, it's around 2% cheaper, while the 5-room flats are 5% cheaper. So As you can see, the 4-bedroom unit facing the cemetery was sold 35,000 cheaper than another unit of a similar floor that is not facing the cemetery. So, will you invest in a property where the owner actually passed on in the unit? So, share in the comments down below. Thinking of getting a unit for investment or own stay, or if you're looking to sell your place at a high price, feel free to WhatsApp me. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, this is Nicole, and I am a real estate consultant here in Singapore, and I'll catch you in my next analysis. Bye bye.